What's going on, everybody? David Mitchell here, and welcome back to Fans of Train, episode 40. And oh my god, we got double down on something today. Like, and I mean doubling down. And you guys are probably wondering what I'm talking about. Well, it's something that I've been hoping that the FRA made a right decision on, and they did. And right decision that they made, and it's something I'm going to be on it. What do you know? Let's just say make it illegal for one-man crews, and that made it where they have to do two-man. So literally, we did something right, and it's good for the railroad community and workers. But the class one or the monopolizer, or what I'm going to call them, are literally so upset with this that they don't like it. And my point is, too bad for them. I turn the scanner on to the A line, Trot and Sub, but let's just say they are peed off right now. So, yeah. So, they are pretty aggravated, and it's something I'll be on it about. That better. Sorry. Had to dim the screen. But, yeah. But, my point is that they are really, I mean, really aggravated right now, if y'all know what I mean. But, yeah. The class ones are not too happy. So, yeah. They're pretty ticked off. And let's just say they're not happy about it, and they're saying they're going to put the railroad industry back a decade or more with a total BS. Saying is, it will stop the ignorant people from trying to make more money. Saying it won't stop progress. Saying it will make us safer and stop railroad from being ignorant. I am a trained person, but that only when it comes to so far when to, there we go. But that only go at so far as you thinking of how everything works. So, yeah. But let me get Griffin on, because I want to hear what he had to say on it, because it's something that I'll be on it. Well, the right decision by the FRA. The FRA made the right decision. And the reason why I say that is because of all stuff that is going on. Well, let me call Griffin. And see what he has to say, because it's crazy. Because they made it mandatory, meaning they can't get away with trying to do one-man crews. It's mandatory on long-distance trains. And did it big. They have something good. What needed to happen. A lot of class ones are ticked off about it. But, yeah. The class one can get over it. Because they are pissed. Because a way for them to cheat out and make more money and screw over the workers that got cut out. So they won't be able to do any of that shit anymore. So Class 1s are not happy. But it's up in big. They are literally blind. That's up. Okay. But it's crazy. 1 minute. Alright, let a friend know that I'm exactly when it. Oh, not right. No, not you, because someone that been calling me about lately. And not Joshua, another friend, but yeah. But Jane is that I'll be honest. Bert and Dad were trying to call me in front of me and Val. They won't talk about train sub anyway because they got their own sub, but I got sub that we should be talking about a lot. But yeah. But it's crazy when you just think about stuff that we should be doing right now. But yeah. Let me check if Chicago Rail fan it online. Because he already gonna roast me. If y'all know what I'm saying. He gonna roast me. And I actually mean it. Because one, I just started watching Not Just Spike YouTube channel. And stuff that he said out, we got me thinking a lot deeper. So, yeah. So, I'm now thinking a lot deeper stuff now. But it's crazy to think about. Oh, Val, I'm live streaming.
No, I'm playing.
Don't have that TV on that loud. Ooh.
Sorry. I'll mute it for you.
You did it? Oh, God. You guys know how I feel about that stuff. But, my God. The crazy shit that are happening. Yeah, we think. Here come Bill.
Turn around. David, ready? David, turn around. David!
Tell her what you see
in her face. Oh. On a train. You know what's my favorite train? Oh, what's my favorite locomotive?
It's a Pride unit.
Oh, I came up with the logo Foamer.
That car.
I didn't know we're wearing together blue.
Mm-hmm. You're wearing a lighter blue. Heck, one of our friends who know me knew out we called.
You're like Griffin. Hi, Griffin.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, sorry, David. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to interrupt, okay? I know it's not voice with autism or living with autism. Sorry, guys.
Hey, you're fine, Val.
You sure?
Yeah, if you have any train stuff to talk about, you can. One of our other friends that is chatter, who like to chat, try calling, and I know that they don't talk about trains.
What, they're talking about something else?
Yeah, so I won't. Alright, Gina, I won't call people who have other stuff that are not transit or train oriented. And I already know one who tried to call him, but you know.
Sorry, guys. You know, if you guys wanted to let me share about Filipino stuff, Philippine transit stuff, let me know. Thank you, guys.
Oh God, I'm getting roast by the group again. Oh. Whatever. Heck, well, they are dumbasses anyway. Johnny is 1-2. He dumbass. But yeah. An offensive symbol. You know what? Fuck you. One minute, guys. But it's crazy. But that probably they made the right decision. But I'll be honest, did some crazy shit, and I'll be honest, the FRA, they made the right decision. Look, they made the right decision. The class 1s are not happy. Well, let me call Elizabeth because I need to get her to look at this. Because it's something crazy. Because I made a post talking about how the FRA, they did make the right decision. The class 1s are not too happy. They are not too happy about it because they can't fire anybody and try to force one-man crews anymore because it officially been banned. So, yeah. But it's something I do think that needed to happen because we don't need another Black Mechanic train disaster again. We don't. Once was bad enough. And that was caused by a one-man crew. So did think about what would have happened. Heck, we did have proof happen about a day ago out on a virtual rail fan cam. Almost had two trains hit each other head on. Or not head on, but from the side. Out of Diamond. Came that close. So, this is the reason why we need one-man crews. So, or not one-man crews, my bad. This is the reason why we need two-man crews. I see, Valley Poo. But this is the reason why we need two-man crews. Because we can't keep trying to force just shit with one-man crew and autonomous bullshit on things. Because one, it's not going to fucking work. Two, you're going to make everything way more dangerous. So, yeah. So, I really don't think it's a bright idea anyway. Okay. Let me get anybody, because it's big, it's something that we need to work on. But, yeah. Because it's something that we need to start cracking down on Class 1 block. We need to start cracking down on the Class 1 and their investor. Heck, we need to crack down on Wall Street. Crack down on Wall Street and stop them from doing that one-man crew bullshit or trying to force it on. No way you can see one-man crews in rail yards when it comes to yard jobs, but not out on mainline. But they got it in the rail yard, but not on the main line, which is a good thing because we'll be seeing a whole bunch more train accidents. Heck, probably the major ones if that happened. Like, and saying it because the railroad that caused the lack mechanic train disaster class 2, in technically between a class 3 and class 1, and a regional. And saying it that a railroad like that with that big should have been watched. But yeah. And saying is, we're still, screwing up from it. Look like no one is going to join in that group, so yeah. But it's something we need to work on. Because Jane is we don't need another lack mechanics happening again. It sounded like a frog just jumped somewhere. Heard that. I mean, there are frogs jumping in here, but people need to understand that we don't need to do one-man crews on freight trains. You're really putting a limit there on something stupid, if y'all know what I mean. Like, I'm cutting bull crap and stuff, need to quit. But yeah. But it's up and I'll be on it. Like, yeah. Let's see who is. Ooh, no. I don't want to put him in timeout. Nope. I didn't want to miss. But yeah. This stuff, it's a effing crazy when you think about it. Let me check my friend. But the lack mechanic train disaster, example of what happened when you allow one-man crews. So, yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I don't support him. Alright, he busy. But we don't need one-man crews. We don't, because no. Hold it. Do you want to join my live stream before we can talk about the FRA ruling? FRA ruling? But it's something that we think about, because it's something we need to bring up, because we literally forgot what happened in Lac Mechanic. We really did. And the thing is that the FRA, they made the right decision. The Class 1, they're saying that they're going to really screw them head over heels with total BS. The reason why they are saying that, because they want to make more money and not pay that much people. That's the reason why. I'm at work, but I wish I would. No, let me call Carter Ralph in. a little trolling. But the Railroad fan is probably going to be roasting me about that because he said I'm not royal. But yeah, the thing is that there's a funny thing. Yep, there he is in chat. Well, let me try to get Brightline fan. But the thing is that your voice sounds like that because I'm in the living room and the people blasting music outside, watching a movie out there, and the dryer running. So yeah. So I got some crap that is noisy outside. But you're probably going to roast me on what I'm saying about Nazi spikes. So let's hear it. But I'll be honest. Let's try to get the Gargoyle fan on. No. But it's up in that I'll be honest, it's crazy. You know, Takara Robin, why can't you pick up? Even though you're at work, you could sneak one in. But Takara World fan roasting me about the demo, Alan Fisher, and Nazi Spikes now, aka NGB. So he roasted me on that. So yeah. So I'm getting roasted there. But it did a whole bunch of crazy shit. Anyway, well, he did Fisher, damn. But I'll be honest, it's up into crazy. But I'll be honest, with the FRA ruling, they made the right decision. Cops ones are pissed about it. But yeah. Well, I'm trying to get some of the guys on. Let's check if Tom busy. Okay. Because I'll be honest. Oh, no. Okay, Tom, where are you? I'm going to try to get Ben or Tom on. Ooh, I nearly oofed up my phone. I have my phone in here with me right now, but the FRA, they made the right decision. By the way, I got the Day magazine, which is an interesting one that came out in 2019 that I would got the interesting that I like. Nitri it won't be. Because I'll be honest, my cousin will work for CXX, one of the big class ones. But not trying to be mean to you, bud. Even though you're the railroad, work for the railroad. The thing is that if they do that, you're gonna be losing your job. Sorry, bud. But yeah. But we don't need one-man crews. Like we don't. It's a terrible ideal. It's risky, dangerous, and I downright don't support it. The only reason you see it in Europe more because they don't do that much switching operations. But yeah. You can talk about it on our 1 minute. On my live stream. I'm trying to get some of the guys on. Because, let's be honest, getting people online, it's something pretty interesting when you get people talking. Now, I would have a mostly everybody by to live on the other side of Charleston. I'm one of the only one that lived below Charleston in there, so yeah. But I'll be honest. The thing is that it's a whole bunch of crazy crap. And it's something that I do think is crazy. Okay. Hey, Brightline fan. Welcome to the stream. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Alright. Do you agree that it was a good thing that the FRA made it where they cannot do one-man crew? Do you think it was a good idea?
It was a good idea, in my opinion. It was actually a class act. Well, it's not a class act, but it's a great move to let the government to step in on the railroad business, because the Class 1s want to be the second Boeing company of railroading.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, the railroads. You know what happened to the Boeing company when they unleashed the Boeing 737 MAX?
Yep. A ton of plane crashes, malfunctions, all that bull crap. Am I right?
Yeah, basically. So the Class 1s are having their own 737 MAX issues. This time, it's more like a -8 or -9 issue.
Well, yeah. You know that virtual... Alright, about the two-man crew. You know, we almost had two trains collided out of... You know that big diamond with the bridge that go over it? That's the virtual rail cam it pointed at? I can't remember. It's the one that have all the tracks crossing itself, you know?
No, I haven't heard about that.
Well, let me look it up on Facebook real quick, but the thing is that we nearly had two trains hit each other on the side and were caught on video. Almost.
Oh my gosh.
Alright. It was Kansas City.
I have seen a lot of train collisions before. One that was involved with the passenger train, and another one with the BNSF freight train.
Alright.
That was a long
time ago.
a long time ago.
Alright, it was Kansas City. You know that area in Kansas City? that virtual rail fan, Cam?
I never been in Kansas City, so
Alright.
lots of
Alright, let me send you
across the country.
Let me send you the video because that was a close call, and the only reason it was prevented was because it was a 2-man crew. Think about it. If there was a 1-man crew on both of these trains, it would have been because one train blew through a red signal and the other one was just slowly pulling up. He would get ready to go through Diamond, but and saying is that if it weren't for the 2-man crew, we would have had 2 trains hitting each other in the side out of Diamond. Like, I just sent you the link. Hey, did you got it, man? Because this video is crazy and it was a close call, you know?
I think I received your link. I'm going to watch it right now.
Yeah, just watch.
Should I screen share it for you guys, or should I just watch it myself?
Watch it yourself, because I already showed them, or technically let me show them on here on my screen, because they dropped the tablet, but the thing is, it's crazy when you watch it, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because both trains chopped in the nick of time.
Okay, let me...
But, yeah.
Okay, let's see here.
Like, you see it?
I think I hear a train coming. Either it's in...
Watch the diamond. Watch the diamond. It right.
Oh, yeah.
Now
I see it.
You see the 2 trains. You see the.
Yeah. That was a close call there.
Yeah, he blew through the signal.
Very close call.
He blew through the signal. The yellow one blew through the signal and almost hit the BNSF train.
No,
And the only reason that was prevented was because
that is dangerous. It was a close call there.
Yeah, just imagine if that was both trains were operated by 1 man. Like, you know, if they did the 1-man crew team, you would be seeing you'll be seeing a nasty wreck. Am I right?
Yeah, I think I understand. Yes, that would be pretty worse. We might have seen a collision.
Mm-hmm.
A train.
And it would have been caught on video too.
Yeah. Imagine if this happened on an Amtrak train. That would be very worse. That would be pretty scary.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, like, let me be honest. This is why the FIA is saying no to 1-man crews. You know? Because the thing about it that if both trains were operated by 1 conductor each, and they did not even know, like, literally, that would have been very bad.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's going to cost both railroads a fortune there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
I agree.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead and say what you were going to say. Sorry.
If the 1-man crew is actually a tech-savvy way to save money for the Class 1s, because they do not want to pay let's say the engineers who are actually driving the trains. That's my opinion on this, on the opposition for the Class 1s. This would actually be the second Boeing 737 MAX disasters, but on rails.
Mm-hmm. And thing is, if we had something like that happen back in 2013, and do you know where?
No, I haven't. I don't know where.
Lac-Méganic, Quebec.
Oh.
You remember?
Canada.
Yep. You remember that?
I wasn't there to it. I haven't heard about the incident, but I've heard it mentioned.
The Lac Mechanic train disaster was caused by a one-man crew train, a train that was operated by one man. The thing is that there were so many problems. If you look the person who broke down what happened, that because it was a one-man crew and the conductor, he ran out of time on his work schedule, and you know how engineer they have to tie a train down if they run out of time on their work schedule. You know what I mean?
I see.
And he tied the train down in Maine. Like, it was on the Canadian and American border. And the train, what happened is that he did not fully he did put the brakes in, but after he left to go to a hotel for the night where he can come back in the morning, what happened was that why they did one-man crew, it would have, two-man crews, it would have stopped it from all happening, but the front locomotive caught on fire with the engine. Fire department was called. They came out. They put the fire out by pressing the emergency stop button turned off all the air brakes and everything, and after they left, about 20 minutes later, the train started rolling down the mountain.
Oh my gosh.
And it was an ethanol train, a fully loaded oil train, you know?
An ethanol, those things are flammable.
Yep. And the train was coming down at 45, 50 mile per hour. It was a straight up runaway with no crew inside. The engines to the locomotive was shut off. Like, literally, it was shut off so they couldn't hear it coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the conductor did not know all of it was happening. I feel bad for him because he did express nervous and concern about it and saying that it was a terrible idea. You know?
Yeah, I know.
And
imagine if this happened in a one-way track where two trains are both at the same tracks.
I know that would have been bad. That happened all the time in Mexico. Oof. But the thing is that the train was going very fast down the mountain, and when it got into the town called Lac Mechanic in Quebec, Canada, like when it got there, the curve that it hit was only made for 10 miles per hour. So when that train hit it, all the ethanol tankers, they derailed and they lit up and blew up half a town. Like 40 people died that day.
That's a perfect excuse for the NIMBYs, though. They call this a bomb train or something.
Oh my god! Yeah, I remember when Dimitri roasted the NIMBYs.
And listen, those NIMBYs are concerned of an ethanol train, but we have seen ethanol on our highways. Trucks that carry loads of it.
Exactly.
And they don't seem to care.
The same with the pipelines. Let's be honest. A pipeline is even worse. Like, let's be honest. I'd rather take an ethanol train over an ethanol pipeline every day.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
yeah, that.
Because let's be honest, if the pipeline busts, you're technically screwed for a bit.
Or like we've seen last year in 2021, that they hacked on one of the pipelines.
Yep. And trains, you can't hack them. Now the bullcrap where they say, oh, you have autonomous stuff, and you can do one-man crew. That's total BS. Because we all know what happened with autonomous stuff. It can get hacked, and next thing you know, a complete disaster happened. Am I right?
Yeah, as a software engineer, we've been seeing this all day, and I've been studying about this this summer about automated vehicles, automated conductors that are AI driven. And it's probably the most vulnerable technology in the
world.
In the world, yes.
And Jane, that I'll be on it, if an autonomous train would be a nice juicy target for a terrorist, or if someone is planning a heist that steals up on a train, Because all you have to do is hack the train, bring it into a sighting, and have a crew raiding to ransack the stuff that you want to get from it. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. That is kind of like a modern train robbery.
That could happen with how everything's going and how all the Class 1s are trying to push for one-man crews. And I'm glad that the FRA seen what they were doing and said, nope. I'm glad that they made this decision.
Yeah, same here. Safety is the number one concern when you are operating a machine. When you're driving a machine such as a train, a car, or a bus, whatever.
Bina, we're about to have a train go by. I can hear it coming. I live right by train tracks.
I like rail fanning as well. By the way, I was watching a video with that Danny Harmon just not just uploaded, but previously uploaded in his channel. He's a real fan too, from Tampa.
Oh, did you hear my scanner went off?
What?
I have my scanner set because I live along the A line,
Oh, the Atlantic coastline.
Yeah, I only live on the area they call the Charleston sub.
Oh, I used to live near the Seaboard airline, which they call it the S line.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
We get the auto train on that line. One of the trains that make that line unique.
Well, actually, I used to live in Fort Lauderdale, which is practically near the old Seaboard airline station of Fort Lauderdale, which is technically the current Amtrak Tri-Rail station.
Mm-hmm. I know, but let's get back to the one-man crews, because the railroads, I'll be honest, the Class 1, they have not learned from the Lac-Méganic train disaster.
Yeah, that is true.
Because
they're kind of...
That only happened 9 years ago.
Yeah. But they're actually... When I think about it more, it's because... Okay. Something's pretty sketchy about these railroads. And they're kind of like bean counters. In other words, they're counting about profits, not safety.
Well, my team...
Put safety over profits.
Yeah. If I was government or the FRA, I would start cracking down on their investor. I would say, if you support this, we're going to penalize you. We're going to penalize you, crack down on you, fine you, like give you hefty fines. Like,
I'll actually call the companies directly and say, look, this is not going to work. This is going to have major consequences to our railroad network.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is... sorry.
I would have called the CEOs directly and say, listen, we cannot have one-man crews. We need two-man crews, or two or more.
Well, they won't care. They won't care. What they will try to do is, because they're all about that money, and, it's not controlled by one person. Oh, that my scanner going off.
As Demetrius Villa puts it, money makes the world go round.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. But, yeah. But let me bring it up, like, the Class 1s, it's the investors we need to crack down on, like Wall Street, because, let's be honest, they're running the show. Am I right?
Yeah, the bean counters on Wall Street.
Like crack down on them, you know? You know, send a message that we're not going to have you do it to our own rail system for your own effing profit. No, you know? Am I right?
That's true. It happened with the Boeing company, which the Boeing engineers actually scammed the FAA to, just certify those planes. This is the exact case that's happening, but with not the exact same case, but a different case with railroads.
Well, I'm glad the FRA seen it and said no to it, you know? Because they could have been the FFA and let it happen, but they said no, you know?
Yeah, I know.
With a good thing, because let's be honest, no one wanted to be having one-man crews and having trains right, left and right. You know?
No one wants that.
And like that,
no one wants that.
Like that video I sent you earlier. Like, you've seen that. You've seen how close that is.
Yeah, I actually saw that.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that they had prevented that crash. It's a good thing.
Yeah, because...
And they're going slow. Imagine if that were fast, like 79 miles per hour.
That would have been a disaster. Heck, that would have been because that right there is a vital train hub right there. You know, that whole area? Because you have 6 rail lines going through that one spot. 6.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I know that the railroads are important to the American economy. That's one thing. Because if you have if you have one train going on one section and one train going on let's say one train going on one section and the other train crossing another, that's going to be a bad accident you're going to have there. I know. Now,
here, team, that spot right there handle over 80 to 100 trains per day. So, just imagine, because if them two trains hit each other, because there was another train on top of the bridge. You noted the train on top, too? The Union Pacific one?
Yes, I noticed the train on top as well. I think that was a Union Pacific.
It was. Now, to imagine if them two trains hit and they hit very hard enough, and all the cars are piled up and they take out the bridge, that would be 3 trains that would have been wrecked. That would have been a major artery of 6 lines cut in the middle of the country, you know, right in the heartland. So that right there would have been very bad for an area that get almost 100 trains per day. That would have been very bad. Am I right?
That would be a disaster.
And to imagine if them trains were run by one-man crews, them 2 trains would have probably not seen it in nick of time. Let's be honest. If it was because they had 2-man crews, they were able to spot that and stop it from happening. And
those trains actually stop. Those trains actually react just in time. Just to make sure.
They were 1 engine away from hitting each other. They were that close. Like, if they were 1 engine in front, they would have probably hit each other. Like, they were that close.
They were both slow, though. They were getting slow, and they were actually operating at safe speeds. So.
Well, that's because they flew on emergency brakes. Like, the BNSF train, he started flying on emergency brake when he started hearing on the radio of the other train, them started freaking out and saying, emergency, put it in brakes. Like, literally. And I noticed because there was another post on Facebook of the person who was operating the BNSF train that actually managed to get it out there and said what he said.
You know that these trains stop at a long distance. These trains actually stop at 18 football fields. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm. And to think about it, 1-man crews, Not even that, it will take longer to work on building the trains, operating them. Like, let's be honest, if something went wrong, you're going to have so many problems with one-man crew, and it will take even longer. It's not worth it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That would actually cost the railroads maintenance as well.
And funny thing is, the railroad is bad enough that they're already cutting on maintenance. Like, literally, they've been cutting corners for the last couple of years in the name of PSR. Am I right?
TSR.
PSR, not TSR, PSR. Precision scheduled. Precision scheduled railroading. AKA, it's not really precision. It's just really seeing how much you can get away with and how much you can cut before you screw the railroad head over heel.
Well, actually, in reality, it has something to do with Wall Street than PSR.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking.
Let's be honest. Wall Street, they really don't care about small businesses. They don't care about the railroads. Like, if they should, like the people who work in Wall Street, if they got all their money and their country collapsed, they would have escaped the country and would have lived somewhere else. Am I right?
Yes. And what's funny to me is that the biggest corporations of America have more power than what you totally expect from these corporations. I'm talking about Disney, McDonald's, all of them.
Heck, well, Disney is having a problem. Like, have you heard that Brightline cut that deal and said that they are not building a train station for Disney anymore? You heard about that?
Yeah, I've heard about that, but that's not their only problem. Like, Ron DeSantis is like, okay, we're going to take your special status away from you. You're not going to have the Reedy Creek District anymore.
Which I have to agree. What he said was smart. That was right decision right there. You know? Because let's be honest, Disney is too big, and they're technically now counted as a monopoly, and they are getting away with it. You know? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like, let's be honest, if Teddy Roosevelt was still alive, or like, I know he have an ancestor that is still alive, like a great-great-grandkid, but for me, I know that for a fact, if he was still alive and he was able to become president again, he would have probably trespassed the hell out of the Class 1s, the airlines, the freaking car companies, and Disney. He would have been cracking down on everybody. Even
Not just that, even in the digital world, like Facebook, or in this case, Meta, for example, they've become too big.
Oh, yeah. What Jane is that it's technically a monopoly now, you know? Didn't think that Teddy Roosevelt, like, the reason why I said Teddy Roosevelt was one of our greatest presidents when I was talking to Dimitri about it, because he knew what could happen. He would crack it down on company back when he was president. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. He was actually the biggest. If it weren't for Teddy Roosevelt, we would have had we would have had standard. Well, we wouldn't have issues with
oil.
We would have issues with the oil company, aka ExxonMobil.
Which technically they are the successor of, you know, Standard Oil. They're technically Standard Oil, but under a different name.
I always mention them, the Rock. Well, whoever owns that is still the Rockefellers. They own the oil industry in the United States.
And people don't think that they still run everything, but they do. You know.
Yeah.
But they're getting scared now because of renewable energy. Like, when anybody vents something, they probably make them disappear. Am I right?
Yeah, these guys, the oil and gas companies are the ones who are actually hindering progress.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones behind the oil companies are the elites who are on those companies.
Well, saying it is that more people are starting to realize it, and more people are starting to get pissed off and saying enough is enough, you know? Like,
yeah. Some people call this a conspiracy theory, but it's not a conspiracy theory. It's just a conspiracy.
Now, here's something else. Now, I find one of our worst presidents, Eisenhower. Do you know why I say Eisenhower is one of our worst presidents?
Yeah, he actually constructed the interstates.
Yep, and do you know where all that money came from the interstates?
From the railroads.
Yep, we take it from the railroads and give it to their competent, and then their competent one made tax-free. Hell, it was even given to the airlines, and the airlines have never been profitable. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. You know, I think Eisenhower might not be the worst, might not be the only worst president. We have a lot of bad apples to cover.
Oh, yeah.
For example, Woodrow Wilson.
Oh.
I hate that guy.
Me too.
I hate that guy. If he would have had, well, he was a guy that's racist, if I'm saying that.
Now, let me be honest about this. Eisenhower, he was a damn good general. Don't get me wrong about that. He was a damn good general, and the only thing he did right at present was desegregating the army. That was the only thing he did right. But everything else he did terribly. And the thing is that he was the marking of the beginning of the downfall of our country. Because let's be honest, since the 50s, our infrastructure went downhill fast. Am I right?
Yeah, there's a phrase that I want to say. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
That's so true. And
the road to hell. That's a pun right there.
And here, Jane, here's something funny. You know the suburbanites and the NIMBYs? They're total idiots.
I know. They haven't. I think these NIMBYs and the bananas, which I call them, build absolutely nothing. And nowhere near anybody.
And here, Jane, the suburbs. Terrible invention. Terrible. Am I right?
Suburbia. Oh, yeah, they're terrible.
And Jane is that I'm never going to raise a kid in suburbia if me and my wife decide to try to have kids.
Listen, I've moved outside the United States.
Friend of mine, live stream. Sorry, my mom was telling me. So my mom was asking me something, but I would say this is that suburbia terrible. Am I right?
Yeah, for that reason I moved out of the United States back in 2012. I've been here in the Dominican Republic for 10 years now.
And let's be honest. Our cities, they're built for cars. They used to have been built for people and bikes and transit. But now they're built for cars. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. Back in the old days, we don't have any automobiles in the roads, right?
And Jane is...
all of these inventions came from the 1920s.
Mm-hmm. And...
in the 1900s, I
believe. 1900. Car was invented in the late 1800s, and it did not start getting popular until the 1910s. With Ford.
That's true.
But I'll be honest, that the cars, I'm not trying to hate on cars, but they were a terrible invention because, they did put it on this path, Everybody wanted to point fingers out, train, they're the reason why we're on that path, but no, it's actually the car, Yeah,
I would have said that the car is a mode of transportation, but I think the car monopoly, the good thing is that the invention of the car, simple as that. But we don't have to depend on it all day.
I know, and Jane is that the car company, they knew it, and they bulldozed our cities to the ground. They took our streetcars from us, and they replaced them with buses and cars. and made everything where if you want to go here, you got to drive. You're not allowed to walk. Am I right?
Yeah. In order to build the highway, they have to divide the neighborhood as well.
Yeah, and
in the 1950s.
And the thing is, that multi road, they did more harm than a railroad would ever do. Like, they literally went through neighborhoods in minority neighborhoods. Am I right?
Yeah, you have the reason. Yeah, it's true. And basically, back in I remember that there was a difference between a poor neighborhood and a rich neighborhood. There were two groups that were opposing it. The difference between that, one got built, one freeway got built, and the other didn't. Mm-hmm. So it was actually the rich neighborhoods who had a greater say than the poor neighborhoods.
And the richer neighborhoods are the suburbians, the suburbanites.
Yeah.
And
the suburbanites.
And here's something that I found out. Do you want Not to Bike's YouTube channel?
Yeah, I like that guy.
Oh my god, I did try to 2 weeks ago. I did try to watch his YouTube channel about 2 weeks ago, and it really opened my mind up on the problems. Like, I'm instantly hooked. Like,
well, he hooked me. He hooked me as well, and I've been watching it recently, last month.
I know, like, and thing is that, reason why he moved from North America to the Netherlands was because the infrastructure there is better. Like, let's be honest. They got walkability, bike transit. You can actually take streetcars and buses reliably, and actually, even though cars drive slower over there, it's actually much quicker. Ain't that odd,
Yeah, it's much more comfortable. In my personal experience, I do not like to drive on freeways. I do not like to drive on freeways, especially on I-95.
Oh, that is bad here in South Carolina because there are some areas where you get burnt out remains of cars on the side of the road.
I've been there. I've been through traffic almost the entire afternoon. We were actually picking up something from my not from my house, but actually from my father's friend's house. He was a friend to the family. He lived in North Miami Beach, so to get there, we had to take I-90. We had to take a pickup truck to I-95, and we had to drive all the way. And there was traffic everywhere, from Broward Boulevard all the way to Miami-Dade County.
Oof. Damn, that bad. Now, I'll be honest. Like, you've been to Charleston, South Carolina. You've been to Charleston.
I've never been to Charleston.
My home city. Alright, here's the thing. Downtown Charleston is very walkable. You can walk everywhere with no problem in downtown Charleston or ride a bike. But the transit really sucks, If you want to get a bus, you gotta wait every hour or so,
Oh, I rode those bus lines too in Miami in Fort Lauderdale as well. So
an hour? That bad? Like, Jesus Christ! That right there to tell you how bad and how much they don't think of people, and they only think about the car infrastructure. Saying, "Oh, these people are not going anywhere. They don't have anywhere important to be. Oh, the car people do,
Yeah, that's true.
Like, let's be honest. Now that I want Not to Bike YouTube channel, it opened me up a lot on what we really need. Like,
yeah.
Heck, Charleston.
Yeah, I get the point. Whenever I watch his videos, I was like, okay, there is something wrong with our infrastructure.
Yeah, and like, here's the funny thing. The Netherlands used to do the same thing at the U.S., and then around the 70, but the 70 and 80, they started realizing it was not doing them any good. Like the Netherlands, they realized and they tore it all down and got rid of it. You know?
And here we are in the USA,
and we're
just using the same stupid infrastructure
still
for
pushing
the
it.
past 50 years.
And we're still pushing it. Like, we're still pushing it. We're still doing suburbs. Like, heck, what we need to do is tear down the suburbs. And funny thing is, the only reason there are so many suburbs built is because everything built for, single or zoned for single family use. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. You have a point there. Because single family homes actually
are wasteful. They are wasteful.
They're kind of racist. They are kind of unprofitable, what he said on Not Just Bikes, on one of his Strong Town videos.
Yeah,
I recommend watching his Strong Town videos.
Yeah, I recommend them too because they're good. And the thing is that a lot of small towns went into debt because of suburbs, Like, literally. Suburbs really put towns into debt, am I right?
Yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true. What happens is that the city was subsidizing suburbia. And that's what's happening here.
And funny thing is that the poor people are paying for suburban nights. Like, the poor people, like, I'll be honest, I live in a mobile home. I live in a mobile home, I'll be honest. Not in a trailer park, but on a little small piece of land, but I live in a mobile home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see.
And the thing is that we're paying for the people in the suburbs, And it's crazy. Go ahead and say what you were going to say. Sorry.
That is crazy. I was a suburbanite as well. I used to live on the suburbs of Fort Lauderdale. So basically, it's kind of weird if I'm thinking about this.
Mm-hmm. And
sometimes I grew up on the railroads. I thought there were no passenger railroads. All we had to do is just drive. I was wrong when I rode the tri-rail.
Mm-hmm. And Amtrak. And
rode Amtrak.
Oh, by the way,
rode Amtrak yet.
Have you been keeping track of Brightline?
I'm keeping track of Brightline. Right now, Yes, I recently watched a video about the Aventura and Boca Raton stations.
Oh, I watched that earlier today.
Yeah, they've actually been doing a lot of progress.
Now, the only thing that I will critique is that parking lot that is looking like they're going to build at the one right there,
Yeah, that's kind of,
That they don't need. They did need to get rid of it.
I think we should do is convert these. I wish they could actually build a condo there. In other words, a condo.
The thing is that everything is zoned for single family use or single family homes. It's dumb,
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the problem. Like, everything is zoned for single family use, and we're finally seeing what it's causing. And saying it that the people who are building it, heck, this is where people might think I'm crazy at, but I'll be honest. Let's be honest. The Chinese, they know that they're screwing our country up bad, and they are probably going to invest in making bad infrastructure for us to screw us head over heel. Am I right?
Yeah, it's about the Chinese, which kind of gives me a little bit of suspicion, is that they have built their infrastructure, and their infrastructure is a little bit bad quality.
Mm-hmm.
In other words.
And let's be honest.
In China, you could see
building collapsing,
collapsing.
And going off to the side,
Yeah, no building has ever lasted for 10 years. I bet you on that one.
That's true, and see, it's that the Chinese, it's that most of the inventing companies that build the suburbs and suburbia, most of them are funded by Chinese investors, you know? Am I right?
That is kind of weird, though. But true.
It's true, and if you did think about it, that the best way to screw your enemies and, you know, your enemy up by building their infrastructure, you know?
What just Sun Tzu actually said is you can destroy an enemy from within. In other words, you can destroy an enemy from the inside rather than the outside.
Mm-hmm. And thing is that they're doing that with our infrastructure.
That is true. I know that China is trying to hack our systems, our infrastructure as well. They've been doing that with our power plant, with our power infrastructure, with our electricity.
Now, I'll be honest. The only problem is Florida, Texas, and Miami with their high-speed rail projects. Because, let's be honest, when they fully work, that can actually turn all the stuff around in our country. And, like, let's be honest, streetcars are making a comeback. Rail transit is making a comeback. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. And I think what Broward and Palm Beach County needs is a streetcar, because we need more of those in our cities. As a Broward County resident myself, I want those things in my streets.
Mm-hmm. Now here at Dean, we used to have a mass streetcar system here in Charleston, South Carolina. And we used to have streetcars that came out to where I live out here in Ravenel. Like, we literally, like right in the area, we have an old abandoned brick building that still have train tracks in it at a lumber mill.
Yeah.
It was set up for streetcars. I looked into stuff, and I realized, like, we lost all of it by the late 50s, early 60s.
But by General Motors.
Yep, not just them. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, all of them.
Yeah, and all of them behind. All of it is just because of oil. They want more oil and gas.
And saying it,
yeah.
Let's be honest. If the railroad seen it coming, they would have said, "Nope, we're not moving your oil." Because of what you're doing. Like, let's be honest, if the railroad seen it would come, they would have not carried the oil. Let's be honest about that. Am I right?
I'm right. You're actually right. They should have had electrified our network.
Yeah, like if they went fully electrified and said no diesel and went fully electric and all of that, and said we're not moving your oil around, it would have screwed the car business up, and rail would be way better here in the U.S. by now. Let's be honest about that.
Yeah, that's true. I wish that the U.S. has its own electrified system, just like Japan, Europe, and all the rest of the countries of the globe has it.
Well, we do have new electrified stuff that happened, like Denver, Colorado. They got a new electrified rail transit system. Like, you remember that?
Yeah, that's true.
And
Germany. Continue.
And now, San Francisco, where my wife's best friend is right now, they're getting an electrified system, and it is going to be built to be connected to California high-speed rails. They finally got this phase 2 approved. So, from Baker Valley, or not Baker Valley, but from where the Y is in the Central Valley to San Francisco. So, I guarantee in probably next year or so, they're going to start trying to get that worked on, Because now that they Now that they're going to finally get that approved, they're going to try to get that worked on. You know what I mean?
Yes. So basically, I wanted not just I wanted them to electrify the U.S., but I think Brightline should have gone forward with electrification. That way, we wouldn't deal with the SE Chargers, the Siemens Chargers.
Well, they're good locomotives. Like, they're damn good.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. And I don't have any problem with them. But it would have been better if we electrify that system as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, by the way, Texas is about to break ground next year, on their high-speed rail system.
Unless if the NIMBYs go...
Oh, no, they finally failed. The NIMBYs, they finally failed.
Oh dear. I hope... Listen,
it actually finally going to happen.
Repeat this thing again.
It not, because they finally...
If they do make the same...
But I'll be honest, they finally came around and said, yes, Texas Central Railway is a railroad. They finally came around and said it, and they said that they have every right to do eminent domain.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I had to go to bed. It's been an interesting conversation.
I know, but before you go to bed, are you looking forward to what is going to happen this December in Florida when Brightline fully open up from Miami to Orlando?
Oh, I'm looking forward.
Oh,
and by the way,
it's going to be a shitstorm, and it's going to be glorious. Do you know the reason why?
Why?
Because when they finally because they're already 90% complete already. 90% complete. And
I'll be there.
And the thing is that they'll be done by December, and the airline, they're freaking out.
Oh, jeez. I could hear Bob Crandall's shouts from here.
Oh.
Bob Crandall's airline.
Going out of business. And let's be honest, the Soral flight from Miami to Orlando are going to die off real quick when that happens.
Okay, so I'm gonna be looking forward to that.
Oh, I am too. I'm just waiting. I'm looking forward to it. But I did let you go to bed, man. All right.
Well, I have to go to bed. Take care, my friend.
All right, later, Brightline fan.
Later, David Mitchell.
Later. All right, that was our friend Brightline fan. And will be honest, the craft storm this December will be glorious. But that I'll be brutally honest about. Agreed. JPR control track to approved. But Did right here, it's going to be great. But let me get back to earlier with the FRA thing and what we said. It was crazy, and it was right decisions for the FRA to do that. But I am really looking forward to the crap storm. Hold it. I'm going to try to get Griffin on. Because I got to get through this really soon. But, yeah. Alright. Okay. But this is a crop storm that I'm really looking forward to because of what's going to happen this December. But I'll be on it. It's up that is going on right now. It's a crazy. But yeah. it's crazy when you did think about it. But yeah. And hold on, but we need to think about this up. It's crazy to think about it fully and realize all the crazy stuff that are happening. But it's mind-boggling. But yeah. But that's alright. They did make the right decision. And BNSF overstepped their boundaries and they're getting what is coming to them. Let's get Tom's on. See what he say. If he not busy. But yeah. It's crazy, I'll be honest. Like, it's mind-boggling and it blow my mind. Like, wow. And it's a good thing that the FRA did this. But yeah. Alright, look like he's busy. But yeah, but it's something crazy when you did think about it. Oh, I tried to call Elizabeth, see what. But it's mind-boggling. But yeah. It's mind-boggling and crazy to think about. And it's wow. Oh, alright. But yeah. But we're getting later tonight, and I'll be honest, people are. Alright. I'm showing the back first. It's that looked cool, I'll be honest. Like, heck. That's some cool. And so in the front second, S&S Railways, or Railroads. Right there, but yeah. Got some cool stuff right there. There we go. Got got the Black River Railway or Railroad. Oh god, I'm starting to say the British term for it, and some other neat stuff too. But yeah, it's pretty cool. 48 pages, or exactly 47 if you don't count the back. But yeah, just a bunch of old news stuff. The photos were for, but yeah. Now, if y'all remember, I actually mapped out the railroad right here that I have my finger on. And it actually looked pretty cool when you in the area of line that could be used as a switching layout. But yeah, gotta. Some more stuff right here. Mm-hmm. But yeah, but look at this. They finally are going to break ground. That we break the ground on this toward the end of the year. Finally, with that and the bridge right here too. If y'all remember, so they're finally getting that worked on. Huh? A submarine in an area that it shouldn't be. But yeah. But it's pretty cool looking at the photos. Alright, here some Pennsylvania railroads, but I would love to go up to Pennsylvania to catch this stuff. Like, I've been to Pennsylvania one time and then we headed up to New Jersey for family, but I would love to go up there. But yeah. I'm so mad that Tommy was able to get that. Ow! 1 minute, guys. Drop the TV remote. There we go. But yeah. But it did crazy. But yeah, but it's so cool stuff looking back at and know what we had. You know? That's the cool part about it. And when thinking about it, yeah. Did crazy. Mm-hmm. It's crazy to looking at all this. If y'all know what I mean. Whew. In Great Lake region. But yeah, but look at these photos right here. But yeah, it's pretty cool looking at it. There we go, but yeah. Now, that right here I find cool when looking at it. Also, light cab locomotive. 4 actual light cab locomotive are freaking awesome. So, yeah. But look. It's just cool looking at all this and knowing what it's pretty awesome. I actually mapped the area out. I'll be on it. The SNS railway or railroad here. I got to, do it at one of the train layout one of these days, or a track plan for another train award. So yeah, look at this. That's cool too. So yeah, I got some stuff to work on with that. But yeah, here's some old news and stuff from back in the day. Back 3 years ago, to be more exact. But yeah, that was freaking awesome to think about. Y'all know what I mean. But yeah, look right here. I actually like the locomotive too. They're pretty cool. Then you got this side with some more Canadians. But yeah. And the Maine or New England. Like, I would love to rail fan to New England State, too, you know? But, yeah. Because I would love to go up there in the future, you know? Catch some cool stuff up there. But, yeah. And we got cool photos in the back again, but yeah. But did all cool stuff, I'll be honest. But yeah. And then we have the last bit, which it did that, but that was the Livestream magazine. But yeah. It's kind of cool, I'll be honest. Like, you can have YouTube, like, I'm just going to bring up model railroad real quick. You can use some of it to help with ideals for model railroading too. So, yeah. So, big brain, big game, big name. But, yeah. But it is crazy when you think about it. But, yeah. Now, I did only get one person on tonight. I was hoping to get a lot more, to be brutally honest. But I did have one friend who did not talk about train, tried to call, and that scene is that. Get ready to put Bella up.
Yes.
Alright. And I couldn't talk to them. But yeah. The thing is that I do have some friends who will talk about stuff that are not train related and rated or rail transit and infrastructure related, probably our stuff that I probably don't want on the live stream. But yeah, but it's crazy when you think about all the other stuff. But yeah. But I'm getting ready to call it a night. It's already 11:13. I don't have work for the next 2 days, but I'm going to try to have some fun. But I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. Please like and subscribe. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye, guys. And have a night.